Let's pivot into the observations that we understand and think is the case, that Turki Al-Sheikh thinks that the rematch between Dubois and Joshua can be made on February the 22nd.
Yeah.
He kind of, at this moment in time, has the zeitgeist because he's the guy in the money with a big bag of money, right? So everyone runs toward it. Do we think he's going to deliver that?
Absolutely. I think that AJ wants that as well. That's the fight that Anthony Joshua wants. They're going to put it on the 5v5.
He got beat.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is he wants it next. He doesn't want to go through this whole rebuilding process again, new development. That's all done now. AJ needs to go into that.
Yeah, but should it be the next fight?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not? He wants to...
You're talking about a world title challenger, right? Losing a world title challenge.
Yeah.
Getting a rematch.
And calling for the rematch.
He had the rematch clause put in. That was in the contract.
That's not true.
He doesn't have
No, he doesn't.
All right.
No, he doesn't.
The powers of whoever around him are going to make that fight happen.
But is it the fight that should be being made?
Yeah, why not? I thought it was a good fight.
Because Joseph Parker sat over here, he's smashing everybody to pieces and not getting an opportunity.
Yeah,
Why is he not getting his crack with Daniel Dubois?
That's for Joseph Parker's team to sort out. This is called the business.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, is that the fight? The fight is Joseph Parker versus...
But why is it the fight, Spence? Because you're in Anthony Joshua's corner.
No, because that's the fight I want to see. It's not...
You've seen it once.
There's no reasons why. You just go to me,
but if
you want Joseph Parker
if you saw that in another heavyweight, and you saw someone getting cleaned out in the end the way Anthony Joshua did against any other heavyweight, you wouldn't be saying that it's a given right for them to have another rematch.
Yeah, but it's not any other heavyweight, is it? It's like I'm just giving you my opinion on should that fight happen. And like Eddie Hearn wanted the immediate rematch straight away. Anthony Joshua wants the immediate rematch. The public want to see it, and why not?
Listen, I get it.
You're not. Why not?
No, I'm not at all. Listen.
Why? Because I think there's a fairness in the boxing ecosystem. If you don't allow that to be fair...
So where do you see it going?
Where do I see it going? I think they'll make the fight.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
of course they are,
who would you like to see Daniel Dubois box next, I'm saying?
Whoever Daniel Dubois has to box as a mandatory right for being the champion of the division that he's in. So what is he, the IBF?
Yes.
Right. So whoever was the mandatory challenger of the IBF.
But listen, if we're trying to change boxing and build some type of meritocracy, I get it's a business.
And integrity.
I get that it's a business and money talks at the end of the day. And therefore, if they can sell Anthony Joshua as a rematch with Daniel Dubois, Daniel Dubois is going to be licking his chops. He's just blown him out in 5 rounds. Of course he's going to want that fight again. But for me, Joseph Parker has earned the right. He's beaten Zhang, he's beaten Wilder. You're next up, sunshine. He's a better fighter now than he was when he was a world champion. I think he should be next for Daniel Dubois. That's the fight.
That should be the way that it works, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, it never has. Do you know what I'm saying?
Why can't we change it?
Well, we can. That's what they're trying to do. I think that's what the transition and the process. That's what they want to do long term. Changing not just that and that sort of system, but the whole weights of boxing. There's going to be a huge changes going on, and that is with.
I mean, the order of events isn't it? Bacoli versus Catterall is the eliminator for the IBF.
Fantastic. Yeah. 2 lads that are doing really well.
But that's fine. But you can still slot in the Joshua versus Dubois fight, and then. Bacoli and Catterall fight their final eliminator to be the mandatory.
Yeah,
right?
but that's the same night.
Still do that.
They're going to do that on the same night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the next fight can't be for the mandatory IBF challenger because there isn't one, is there? So my logic of saying the next cab off the rank.
That's it. Bacoli and Catterall, as you just said, are fighting for that
right, so
you
could actually have Joshua and Dubois without being unfair to anybody, because the winner of that fight would then fight the winner of Bacoli Catterall.
I agree. Listen, I agree with what you're saying. But why are we doing Joshua Dubois again? Why are we doing that again?
Yeah, but I reckon the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Dubois fights the winner of Tyson Fury.
I mean, we can all be a bit pious about it, but we know why. Because Anthony Joshua is the biggest name in boxing. For whatever reason, his achievements don't match his name, with respect, and he brings it to the table that you know you're going to get the crossover. He brings the juice, irrespective of if any other heavyweight were cleaned out the way he was, people would be saying, done, finished, no longer any more commercial proposition. And he gets another shot. Also on that, February 22nd is 5v5.
Yes.
I mean, I think this is a great format.
I love
the
format. I love the format. Yeah, I really do. I think that team spirit brings out something else in the fighters as well. It's like going back to the amateur days in many ways, where you go, you want to win for yourself, but you also get wrapped up in this whole team spirit thing as well, and it makes it really competitive. And I really enjoy it. I think it's fresh, and I think it's good. I
mean, Frankie's pulling everyone's pants down, smacking their asses, isn't he? Ultimately, is it fair to say that he's probably got the best British stable?
He's
followed by Boxer, maybe.
Frank, honestly, I was at the airport with him just 24 hours ago, and he's absolutely loving it.
Were you in business class or coach? Because Frank wouldn't have been in coach, would you?
What, you asked me, did I turn left or did I turn right?
Yeah. You nicked his watch.
I turned right, mate. I was down there.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, right at the back as well.
So do we think Queensberry's got the best British stable? We must do.
Right now,
Yeah,
they are. 100%,
I think if you're talking
so.
ability-wise, yeah.
You've only got to look at records.
Hang on. You've got. From a commercial aspect, maybe somebody else there might be better commercial aspects elsewhere. But when you're talking about ability, I mean, there's guys, for example, like Liam Davis, fantastic fighter, doing extremely well. Hamza's doing extremely well. You look at Nick Ball coming through. You look at all these guys. Dennis,
coming through. Nick Ball's doing well.
I'm talking coming through from a commercial point of view, but obviously he's performing. Yeah, absolutely. From an ability-wise point of view, Frank Warren absolutely knows how to build and pick a fighter. Regarding what you've just been saying about the 5v5, I personally am not too enamoured by the promoter versus promoter thing as a storyline, as long as it dishes up.
Stable versus stable, isn't it? That's the great thing.
It's another dynamic, though, isn't it?
Listen, it's great for the casual audience. You're in. Yeah. You're bought into it going, what's all this about Frank Warren versus Eddie Hearn? Great, that's great. For me, it was always about, can they provide the fights that I'm interested in? Absolutely. We've seen one of them. Geez, the first time around, it was absolutely fantastic. Long may it continue if this is going to keep.
I mean, some people could say for the 5v5, it's glove puppet versus glove puppet. Turkey, what shall we do? We should do this. Yes, Frank, you should do that. Yes, you should do that, Eddie. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, that's a different discussion.
But to be fair, Turkey is putting on the fights that the fans want to see.
I'm not criticising.
That show on Saturday night was insane.
There's no criticism of that at all whatsoever. It's just a piss take out of Frank and Eddie.
Yeah.
Right? But let's go on to stables. And obviously,
he cracks me up.
I love the fact that Frank had an interview and discussed the idea about my attitude towards Saudi money, and then came out with this revelation that you do know that he had Saudi shirt sponsorship. The reasons why the soppy old sod knows that is because I told him.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you don't like Saudi money. I said, well, I do, Frank, because I had a Saudi sponsorship called GAC. You never. I did. He said, I had my girls looking all through your shirt sponsorships, and now he's trotting it out like he's found that piece of information. Anyway, that's just me indulging myself.